into a brand new wave, drowning out the noise that's tame. Liberty whispers through the brave, breaking free from every chain. Nullify the rules they crave, crypto beats that pave the way. Anarchy with minds that's safe, algorithms new dawn today. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride. Beyond control we take a stand, casting off the iron brand. Freedom flowing through our hands, revolution's our command. Decentralize the way we plan, all together we expand. Breaking shackles for the clan, in this journey we're on pan. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride.
Welcome to another edition of the Legacy News, episode 12. And it's Crypto Wednesday. Woo! I am the legacy of Jennifer and Kaiser. There's
That is
Andrew
Zachary
Joseph.
Kaiser.
There's Andrew Joseph. We are back again for another one, and we have some interesting takes on the cryptosphere right now. One includes another arrest and extradition to the great nation of the United States of America, the beacon of freedom, the beacon
Land of the free, home of the brave.
freedom. Yes,
That's why non-citizens are being extradited to the United States.
What beacon of free? Yeah, you got to be extradited to.
I'm not even talking about Roger Ver. I'm talking about people from South Korea.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like
Do
born
Kwon,
and
if you're out
raised.
there, hey, Do Kwon, if you're out there, get ready for some freedom.
What's wrong with Terra USD? We're going to find out in the land of the free. Because it has USD in the name.
I like that. I like that a lot. So, America, let's
We'll
bring
go
it
to
up.
that article. We'll go to that article after we do the main G's here. From Bitcoin to Trump coin, the rise of government-controlled cryptocurrency.
Donald Trump wants a CBDC?
Oh, really? In a surprising turn of events, the United States government is planning a bold step to integrate cryptocurrency into its financial strategy. This move marks the potential transition from decentralized digital currencies like Bitcoin to a new state-backed digital currency, informally dubbed Trump coin. From anarchist dreams to government reality, Bitcoin was created in 2009 as a response to financial crises and concerns over centralized banking systems. Its investors designed it as a way to bypass governments and give power back to the people. This vision was built on the idea that no single entity could control Bitcoin, making it a symbol of freedom for many. However, this original dream may be shifting. Recently, the U.S. government has floated the idea of a digital currency under its direct control. Unlike Bitcoin, which is decentralized and operates on a global network of computers, Trump coin will be managed by the government. This means it could be regulated, monitored, and even adjusted as needed by federal authorities. While this promises more security and oversight, critics argue it strips away the very freedom that made Bitcoin appealing in the first place. The concept of Trump coin stems from the belief that digital currencies could benefit national economies when properly managed. Yeah, right. Instead of leaving Bitcoin's unpredictable nature to private investors and tech enthusiasts, the government's approach would bring a digital currency into the folds of traditional financial systems, blending the new and the old. That term is called confluence, by the way, the merging of two rivers.
Mm-hmm.
A strategic Bitcoin reserve. One of the most talked about ideas is the creation of a national Bitcoin reserve, much like how countries store gold to back their currencies. Yeah, right. This reserve would involve the U.S. buying and holding large amounts of Bitcoin. This plan envisions Bitcoin becoming a financial safety net for the country during times of economic crisis, like right now. To achieve this, the government plans to purchase significant amounts of Bitcoin over the next few years. The reserve goal is to stabilize the economy by having a backup store of value that could be used in emergencies. Supporters of this idea believe it could help strengthen the U.S. dollar and keep the economy competitive. However, critics warn that this plan could create new risks. Bitcoin's price is known to swing wildly, which could make it a dangerous choice for National Reserve. If Bitcoin's value crashes, the U.S. government could lose billions of dollars. Others question the practicality of using a volatile asset to stabilize the economy. I mean, like they're doing right now with the dollar. Adding to the controversy is the potential impact of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is an independent body responsible for managing the country's money supply. Some fear that involving Bitcoin in national financial strategies could undermine the Fed's independence. Hey, man, it's a good idea. If the government decides to force Bitcoin into the system, it might create a conflict between political agendas and economic stability. Blending AI and cryptocurrency. The government's digital currency plans also tie into its push for innovation and artificial intelligence. The administration has proposed combining cryptocurrency and AI policies under the one roof, aiming to modernize the country's approach to technology. This includes AI to monitor and manage the digital currency system effectively. Experts say this combination of AI and cryptocurrency could bring benefits like faster transactions and better fraud detection. However, critics warn it could create a regulatory nightmare. AI and cryptocurrencies are both complex and rapidly evolving, and managing them together will prove challenging for policymakers. Balancing innovation with regulation is no easy task. One of the boldest proposals to establish a crypto council to oversee this integration. The council would work on crafting policies that encourage innovation while ensuring the consumers are protected from scams and fraud. Proponents of the council argue that clear rules would help the cryptocurrency industry grow. Critics, however, feel the council's centralized power could stifle the very innovation it's meant to promote. Moreover, integrating a government-controlled cryptocurrency into the broader financial system could have unintended consequences. For instance, if Trump coin becomes widely adopted, it could increase financial risks during periods of economic instability. Critics warn that the growing role of digital currencies in traditional systems could make financial crises harder to manage. In summary, the proposed move from Bitcoin to Trump coin represents a significant shift in how the U.S. government views digital currencies. While supporters believe it could bring order and innovation to the financial system, critics are alarmed by the risks and potential loss of independence in monetary policy. The coming months will reveal whether this bold plan will redefine digital money or spark new controversies in the ever-changing world of finance. Man,
Trump's a statist.
That's just a really bad idea.
That's a very stupid idea. And you want to know what's really sad? The Bitcoin maxis would get behind this.
They're losing their minds and
yeah,
a bunch of other things, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't speak Italian.
No, just think about it. I mean, it's one of the first, one of the really good quotes from Mises is corruption is a regular effective intervention. Every time you try to intervene to stop something from happening, it's just going to make it more and more corrupt and difficult to manage. There's consequences to every poor choice, and there's consequences to good choices. You have to choose a trade-off, which one's worse and which one's better, and you have to work backwards from there. So,
Micromanaging usually leads to negative effects. You never want to micromanage anything. As you said, I mean, the more you try to manage something, the heavily involved you're into something, the more mistakes that are made.
look at the lawfare
And
that they tried to do with Trump to prevent him from being elected. That got him the election. It's because they tried to micromanage the law to pigeonhole him and get him out of the race. How can they
honestly,
expect to do that a scale that at do something like that at scale
yeah,
for
bad
entire
example.
nations?
Bad example. I think the lawfare has more. The lawfare is more against people that have actual, credible reputation towards alternatives, like what they're doing to Roger Ver or
Mm.
our next one, Do Kwon, that we're about to show. But as far as the lawfare on Trump, it won him the election. He's not going to see prison. Ever. He's probably going to end up. Didn't something happen in the ruling to where I don't know. They're going to end up getting it overturned in an appeal,
Yeah.
in New York. But I believe. But the fact of the matter is honestly that wasn't lawfare. That was in effect a way to get the guy that the banking cartel wants. I'm sorry, they want Trump in the White House.
Are you
Hate to
implied they
break it
put
to
him
you.
over?
They put him over so they can get him in the White. Why? I don't know. It
Because
could be the
Shinzo
fact
Abe called for it to happen.
that too.
From beyond the
That's
grave.
because Abe called it for it to happen. But on the main reason they want their inevitable collapse, the Fed's inevitable collapse of the dollar to happen under Trump's watch so that they can move on to the next cycle of control, which is the CBDCs in true form, utilizing Bitcoin's infrastructure as the basis of it under Trump's watch. What is happening? And he isn't even president yet.
Here's the real conspiracy. Shinzo Abe, he called for Jimmy Carter from beyond the grave. He needed company. He needed a friend. I'm going to hell. But hey, yesterday's episode. Check it out.
Yeah, well, that was yesterday's episode, so don't miss that one as well as don't miss this one. But what's to go off of that one, to piggyback on that comment, I'm gonna I agree, honestly, because I mean, you know how it is at the end of the year. You know how the conspiracy is that the power elite, the power brokers of the behind the scenes shadow governance are sacrificing bodies for to Moloch or whatever or Baal. You know how there's always a celebrity death at the end of the year, like right before New Year's.
And it runs in threes, so keep looking.
It does run in threes, so keep on looking. And it's only December 31st. We have till
Isn't that weird how that
11:59.
happens?
So it is weird. And it just so happens that I mean Jimmy Carter was the one to go down on December 29th? Saturday is when they announced it. So look for somebody big, maybe a couple people, because it does run in threes today. So who knows?
Yeah.
But there's always he's the big one. Just like a couple years ago was Betty White?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, Barbara, Betty White. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it always comes down to it's interesting that big time, one of the big celebrity in any sphere of influence, politics, entertainment, what have you, somebody ends up unalive by the new year.
Uninstalled, just like John McAfee. See, this is what
Mhm.
happens when you go into crypto and you're a public figure. Rest in peace,
Yep.
John.
Yep. Unless you're Donald Trump.
Now,
Donald Trump's
unless the
gonna
conspiracies are
hold it.
true and he's actually still alive. Yeah, I'm definitely going to hell for that one.
Probably.
All right, let's check out
But
John
McAfee is still alive, everybody. He didn't uninstall himself.
Yeah. Let's check out Do Kwon while he's still around. Hold on just a second. I'll be right there.
until it gets to a CIA black site in Chicago.
right? Montenegro extradites cryptocurrency mogul Do Kwon to the United States of America. And there's a file photo here. I don't even know how to pronounce that. That's Italian.
Podgorica. Podgorica.
Montenegro.
Montenegro.
Montenegro on Tuesday extradited a South Korean mogul known as the cryptocurrency king to the United States, following a decision of his judicial ministry earlier this month to accept a U.S. request. While refusing a South Korean handover plea, the Balkan country's authorities said. Police said that officers of the National Central Bureau, Interpol, and Montenegro handed over Do Kwon, the founder of the Singapore crypto firm Terraform Labs. The FBI officers at the that's Italian, SpongeBob. Podgorica Airport border crossing.
It might be Podgorica. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you forgive me. I don't speak Italian. Anyways, today on December 31st, 2024, he, Do Kwon, was handed over to the competent law enforcement authorities of the United States of America and agents of the agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Competent FBI agents. A police statement said the move follows a month-long legal saga in the case of Do Kwon. Both South Korea and the United States had requested Do Kwon's extradition, and various courts in Montenegro over the past months have brought and overturned multiple rulings to extradite Do Kwon to the United States, or either to the U.S. or to his native country. He and another South Korean were arrested in Montenegro in March of 2023 while trying to depart for Dubai, United Arab Emirates, using fake Costa Rican passports. Kwon had served a prison term in Montenegro using a fake passport. Kwon was charged in the U.S. with fraud by federal prosecutors in New York over $40 billion cash.
Of course, New York.
Over $40 billion. In New York, over a $40 billion crash of Terraform Labs cryptocurrency, which devastated retail investors around the world. Kwon and 5 others connected to Terraform Labs have been wanted on allegations of fraud and financial crimes in relation to the implosion of its digital currency in May of 2022. Terra USD was designated as a stable coin, a currency that is pegged to stable assets like the dollar to prevent drastic fluctuations in prices. However,
the dollar
around
is stable?
It's drugged. That's what it is. Yeah. However, around $40 billion in market value was erased by the holders of Terra USD and its floating sister currency Luna after the stablecoin plunged to far below its $1 peg. All right, let's stop sharing there.
Happy New Year, everybody!
Right?
What a wonderful story to start off January 1st, 2025. Happy New Year.
Let me call back this because we weren't talking about cryptocurrency when this happened, but I know for a fact I could pull it up if I needed to. They invested all of their Bitcoin holdings trying to stabilize the Terra USD when it capitulated. They did everything they could, and this is all just a political witch hunt for clout for the government, saying we're doing something. Yeah. It's screwed up, but they did try to do the right thing.
Yeah, are you saying that they tried to go through the hoops and bounds of legal measures and they still got fucked over in the process?
I mean, they were trying to do everything they could to save the project. I wouldn't know if
sort of
an ecosystem like cryptocurrency. I don't think they're exactly pro law and order. Their whole concept is being independent and stable. So yeah.
Well, what is law and order?
Right.
What is law and order? What is the rule of law?
It's an instance of pressure that people like the FBI and CIA can apply to look like they're doing the right thing, but they're not.
So
they're
effectively, we're going political on this episode. So effectively, rule of law is the lawfare.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as rule of law. The only law that matters is natural.
Yep. Negative
Everything
rights,
else
negative
is
law.
contrary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the
It's
market's
marketing.
natural.
Positive law is marketing, people going and trying to sell you and solicit you on bribing you with taxpayer money, guaranteeing you something so that they can have social influence.
Basically, positive law is putting a gun to your head and saying, "Give me the money and we'll benefit you,"
Yeah,
and they don't end up
forget your
benefiting
kids
you.
and their kids. Right now, you're
Hmm.
gonna you're gonna sit there and take this and enjoy it.
Hmm.
That's why you get to have
Short
free
term.
internet, and somebody else has
Yep.
to pay for it.
Yep. Yep. We have free internet.
That's
Your
exactly
youngest
what
generations will not.
this this is exactly what cryptocurrency is designed to prevent. Is that they're influencing you by bribing you, and they can't bribe you if they can't afford to bribe you because there's no piggy bank left for them to steal from.
Mm.
At least that was the original intent.
That was the original intent, but then it got hijacked by a bunch of feds. So
Hmm.
hijacking Bitcoin. Everybody, read it, listen to it. It's out there. Get this absorb this information. This is the hijacking Bitcoin's published. Was the reason why Roger Ver was taken down literally 2 weeks after it was published and made available on Amazon and every other marketable asset out there, every marketplace. And next thing you know, he's arrested in Spain. Same prison, too, incarcerated as John McAfee. I still worry about Roger Ver. I know we just read an article about Do Kwon. Do Kwon will be fine considering they're probably actually extraditing him to the United States. The only problem is he's just going to be he's going to be restricted to lots of solitary confinement uh, criminal or cruel and unusual punishment, which,
Outside of
according to
the,
the Seventh Amendment of the United States Constitution and Bill of Rights, is
well,
unconstitutional and
he's
illegal.
not a he's not a citizen of the District of Columbia, so it doesn't
Doesn't matter.
apply to him.
Oh, the District of Columbia. You're right. It doesn't apply to the District of Columbia. Yeah, you're right. But truth be told, your Bill of Rights, I thought, was supposed to apply for American citizens as well as non-American citizens. Human rights, right? But
Right?
uh, but yeah, but he's going to be subjected to cruel and unusual punishment. Obviously, whether that's just solitary confinement, whether that he's confined to an embassy like Julian Assange, awaiting the official extradition, or if he is actually officially extradited, he will be placed in a cell by himself. Where he's going to be mentally and psychologically fucked for the rest of his life. Um, and I guarantee you, at the end of it all, they will come up with a deal that ends up getting him released. Just so long that everything gets shut down and he's out of business and he has nothing, and the government
He'll
takes
be
it.
he'll be
To,
he'll be lucky if he can walk away without having to go to jail for the rest of his life.
yeah, he'll get lucky. Honestly, he'll get really lucky if he gets to uh, walk away without having to go to jail for the rest of his life, and they save a bullet.
This is a
So
spicy meatball episode.
yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, it's quite interesting that the end, as we're drawing closer to the end of the Biden regime and entering into the Trump regime, which is going to be the same politically, that we're starting to see the heavy-handedness on the crypto industry. And then, judging by the recent article that we just reviewed, um, the advancement of the Trump regime's centralization of CBDC, of their version of a centralized crypto community, yeah, a replacement for the dollar.
Just wait until they fumble the ball. That's all you got to do.
Yep,
This is
that's hmm
this. It seems like it's there. They have no plan. They say they have a plan, but once they fumble the ball, it all falls apart. It always does. There's nobody can sustain that kind of power for that such a long period of time without screwing up somewhere.
Well, what they're doing right now is they're still, while they have the power and the muscle of the gun, and yeah, and they're trying to distinguish a new commodity asset to back their worthless fiat, because obviously the petrodollar is failed. It has failed. Oil is no longer pegged to the dollar because everybody else is getting out because the dollar is worthless. So they're trying to find a way, while they still have the power and the influence of the might of the American gun, they are trying to find another way to peg the dollar as the world reserve, and that is through crypto assets, Bitcoin, hijacking the industry, centralizing the blockchain, and we go from there. America,
Yep.
land of the free, home of the brave. You
Terms and
slaves.
conditions apply. See law
Yeah.
for details.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So you are not free. You are all slaves. You're not brave. You're
But
all weak
no,
cowards.
America was free in one instance, and then it's continually de-escalated that freedom, and it
When was it free?
centralized. And
When was the United States
well,
free?
it
When we
was
could
free
ignore the
before.
federal government?
It was free when there wasn't such a centralized power controlling everybody's behavior.
Yeah.
People had a lot
Thank you,
more morals
radical.
back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you.
radical Republicans and Abraham Lincoln, for sacrificing 750,000, either plus, maybe it's a little under, but probably plus, Americans, both Southern and Northern. Thank you.
Go even further back before the
We
Constitution,
we can go a
Articles of
little further
Confederation.
back, but the
Before
blood
that,
sacrifice of the
yeah,
black blood
it,
sacrifice of the centralization was the Civil War.
we'll be here all day. It's a foundational myth. That's all it is. It's a myth. It's always a myth. There's always some kind of big
Mhm.
story that they build off of to maintain their identity. But the
The
funny thing is, the United States doesn't have a central identity. It never has, never will.
Nope,
They're
never
trying, but
has, never will.
they're 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 too late to the party.
Mhm. And one last thing. I love this is going to hurt you Republican voters' feelings, because you think it's all the Democrats, but the Republican Party was the Democrats for what they are now, and Trump's
Damn,
a Democrat. So now we're
ain't
back
no
to
Jimmy Carter.
yeah, we're back to full circle, everybody. January 1st, 2025. The Republican Party is starting to gravitate towards where it was founded in the 1850s. Socialism.
Yep.
In the end, but at the same time, uh live long and prosper. This has been
That's
another edition of the Legacy News. Share this content, like, subscribe, leave a comment, join the conversation. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Do you think that Andrew's a bald loser and should just shave the remainder of his head? I think you should just wax the rest of your head, just become a
wax
skinhead.
on, wax off.
Yeah. So, but join the conversation, share this content, and do the same for the rest of our content. So, in the meantime, anything else in your corner there, Andrew?
I know I'm weird. I wear it with pride. Thanks for watching.
Peace.